Verse 6. So yeah, here a very Dutch thing. Okay, the windmill and the cows. There's a cow in front of me and there's a cow over there and a cow over there. People are taking photos here. Okay, so I'm taking away a little bit now the opportunity of taking a photo with these cows. But anyhow, I think it's for a more important reason. It's not going to be for ours as well. Verse 6. When the chief priests and the officers saw him, they cried out, "Crucify him, crucify him." Pilate said to them, "Take him yourselves and crucify him, for I find no guilt in him." Okay, now unluckily I can't shout out here loud, "Crucify him, crucify him." I wouldn't have mind, but you know, here in amongst all these kind of people, it's going to look a little bit weird. And yes, I don't mind people thinking I'm weird, because where I'm standing and doing it already looks weird, and I don't care about that. But I mean, there's like borders and boundaries of what is acceptable and not acceptable. Okay, you don't need to go and make the world hate you. The world hates you already enough. Anyhow, so that the focus is not on me now. So I just explain. Okay, so when you read this, as a pastor, maybe you know, crucify him. There from the pulpit, you need to shout it out, because this is what they did. They shouted it out. Okay, so you in your church you can shout it out. At least there, you ought to be able to shout it out other places as well. So Jesus bring it out and say like, no, here's the man, the one true man. Okay, well, he said, just behold the man. This is the meaning behind all of this. And their answer when they saw him. So they saw, it's not like they were looking away. No, they saw him. Okay, they saw him. And, okay, and their reaction to that was, no, crucify him. As it is. So they saw how he was beaten up. If this is just a flogging, which maybe they've not been that bad, but at least the crown of thorns, the purple coat, all of that was already there. Okay, they did see. And what was the reaction? Did it humble them? Did their nationalist pride jump up at the King of the Jews being beaten over here? We need to do. Did it bring out the motherly instinct, kind of? Our son is like our son. He could have been. No, he did nothing wrong. We need to help you, kind of idea. No. The chief priests and the officers, they saw, and they just, the ones reading this, the ones from whom it was written, they saw, and notwithstanding, they shouted, "Crucify him." Pilate's plan did not work out at all. Okay, the world can claim, atheists can claim that if Jesus appears before them, they will believe in Jesus. Here he's standing in front of them, beaten up. They didn't believe. You will not believe, because you don't want to believe. That's just the point. You don't want to believe. It doesn't matter what a human tells you. It doesn't matter with how many proofs we come to you, scientific proofs we come to you. You are not going to believe because you don't want to believe. Your problem is not because it's a logical problem or a philosophical even problem. Your problem is it's a sin problem. And the only way you can be changed of that is if the Holy Spirit gives you a new heart. That's the only way. Then you will see the truth. You'll understand the truth. And at last, you'll be able to think rightly. Okay? So yes, then Pilate said, okay, you guys take him. You crucify him. Okay? I find no guilt in him. But now he knew. This is like saying, okay, you go and pick up a 200 kilogram. I mean, like someone telling me, you go and pick up a 200 kilogram weight. I'm like, yeah, right. I mean, I can't. I know there are people who can. I can't, for sure. Okay, I will not only break my back, but every bone in my body as well in trying never be able to stand up again, right? So he knew that they could not ultimately crucify him. That this is why they're there, so that he will give them over. He had to sign the death warranty. He had to do it, and so him telling it's not going to work. It is not going to work. Verse 7. The Jews answered him, "We have a law, and according to that law, he ought to die, because he has made himself the Son of God." Right? So, we have a law. And according to this law, this guy made himself the Son of God. And therefore he needs to die. He called himself the Son of God, so he needs to die. This is what our law says. He can't live. He needs to die. That's just that. What is the reason? Because of blasphemy. He called himself the Son of God. Right? We have again the mention of the Jews, not the Jews as a nation, right? For those who say the Jews are a nation, they crucified Jesus and therefore ultimately the Holocaust happened to them, and it's deservedly so. That's nonsense. That's anti-Semitism. That's nonsense. No, 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 no. They paid the price in the year 70 AD. That's that. No need to pay it again and again and again. No, that's happened. It's gone. It's over. So that the whole Holocaust, nothing to do with that. It's evil to even think about that it had anything to do with this. What happened here, right? But it's the Jews again, that group of these religious leaders, these ones against Jesus. Not everyone, because there was always certain who believed and those who didn't. It's those ones that ultimately the guilty ones. And this is the reason he had to die, because of blasphemy, because he called himself the Son of God. And verse 8 then, when Pilate heard the statement, he was even more afraid. So Pilate's reaction to this was fear, right? Which makes sense. Why? Because there's something more. Earlier we spoke about truth and Jesus as a king, and he's king of not of this world. I mean, you can still think this guy is mad, kind of. You know, he's just a little bit weak up there, thinking of a kingdom that's not of this world. Where can this kingdom be if it's not of this world, right? It's just a mad case. How can we have someone like that die? That would be like killing an invalid or something. I mean, it's someone that's mentally not right. Okay, today you put the person like that in the mental asylum, even if he know for a fact he did something wrong. And in Jesus' case, he did nothing wrong. Okay, so that is one thing to think of that as being a king from somewhere else or not from this planet kind of idea. Okay, so you're a king of Mars or something like that, right? You're Elon Musk or something. No. No, but when you say God, he called himself the Son of God. Okay, then he was afraid. Then he heard the statement. He was very much afraid. Okay, which makes sense. This is on a different level. This is not on a king of Mars kind of level, right? This is on a eternal God kind of level. So what the heck is going on here? Okay, right. There's one of those bikes going, and with the music playing, and seeming they keep up with the modern trends. Right. So yes, he was very afraid. So what is Pilate going to do next? Okay, so the pink cow, green one kind of, and I think it's an orange one over there. Some other time they contribute something. And then the windmill. Canal there in the back. And then all the other Dutch buildings where we've already recorded. Okay, so it's time to move on to the Chinese influence in Melika.